Say hello to the bad guy. I am your host, Double A Ron. Welcome to VGR Lockdown. I'm here in the studio with my main man, my cousin Steven. What's going on, bro?
Not a whole lot, man. Not a whole lot.
Not a whole, man. That's all right, man. Well, we got some sad news. Unfortunately, the legend, Mr. Vader, has passed away. He's definitely an icon in the game. He's been in the game for a long time. It's really sad that he passed away. I know he's been sick for a long time. I remember looking back at his work in WCW. I would like to say I remember his work, but I wasn't that old. I was like 4 years old, so I can't say that, yeah, I remember watching him live. But definitely from the work I look back on as far as videos, documentaries, and stuff on WWE Network and people's DVDs and stuff I've been watching for a long time, definitely have a great appreciation for his work. Anything you want to say about Vader?
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Okay, well, let's talk about another guy who has some really sad news as well. He actually lost a lot of things within the last couple months to a year. He lost his girlfriend.
It's been a rough year for him.
Yeah, lost his girlfriend, lost his tag team partner, lost his push, broke his leg, lost his smile, and now unfortunately he lost his job. So WWE decided to fire Big Cass and not even wish him the best of luck in all his future endeavors. Yeah, that was the
crazy thing. He didn't even get a few. We wish him the best on his future endeavors. So he messed up.
I was thinking like, man, I was about to get mad because I'm like, why they fire him just because he went off script? I was about to go on this big rant about how these guys are on eggshells and they let people do their own thing and put some personality into their character and stuff like that. But I mean, he locked himself in a bathroom stall and broke it. I mean, because
he locked himself in there. The lock was broken, and for some reason, they didn't tell anybody on the bus that the lock was broken. So he thought that he was being punked or something, and people were holding the door closed. But I mean, his issue was it was drinking. It was reports that he was on the bus drunk, and it definitely wasn't a good look. I'm hoping that things aren't too bad for him health wise. I'm hoping that he doesn't have an alcohol issue. But if he happens to, hopefully this might be a good eye opener for him and get the help that he needs. WWE definitely has a great wellness program, despite the fact that they've terminated him. If he happens to need rehab or anything to address that drinking issue, he's still eligible through the wellness program to get that help.
Yeah, but I feel like the WWE still has to kind of like care about you a little bit to send you to the wellness program.
Not at all. I
think so.
The way the wellness program is lined up is any former superstar, any former person, and I think this not only extends from WWE performers, but it also extends to ECW and WCW people. They still put Sonny through, and they put Sonny through when Sonny was in bad terms with them. But it's to help these guys that help the company by working for them at any point in time to get that help that they need.
Okay, because I remember China recommending something like that, and they roasted the hell out of her, like laughed at her and said she's not Scott Hall. So I don't know. Like I said, I guess
I think that was pre.
Yeah, that must have been pre. That's what I was thinking.
And actually, even China, once they did the wellness program and the fashion edits, and now I believe she went through it as well.
Okay, I didn't hear about that, but. Okay, so that's how I feel about Big Cass. It's too bad. I know earlier you compared him to Kevin Nash. To me, I see a lot of test in him. He's a guy that had some talent. He did everything just below solid. I wouldn't say he was
Test
good.
Was doing fine until Triple H took his girl.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. Test is a guy who had a lot of good tools. He was solid across the board. There was nothing he did bad, but it was nothing he did really extremely well. But if he was put in the right situation, he could have been a star. He couldn't have been the guy. Like, he wouldn't have been like Stone Cold or The Undertaker or something like that, but could have been a good piece. But the stuff that they would do with him was just not good to get him over with the audience.
I think once they decided that they were going to do the whole Stephanie McMahon joining up with DX and everything, it was a wrap for him, because once that was happening, I mean, that was it.
Yeah,
I don't actually remember anything that he did after that point.
Yeah, he looked like a sucker. I think that was it. After Triple H took his girl, married his girl or whatever, and Instead of him fighting Triple H, Vince McMahon fought Triple H, which was just horrible booking. I mean, even back then, I'm not sure what you were thinking at the time. That's really bad booking.
But you know what? We know who your next Impact champion's gonna be.
Who is that?
Big Cass.
Oh, Big Cass. You think he's going there?
Doesn't everybody?
Well, a lot of people went there, and WWE is accepting a lot more TNA stars than what they used to. So people really have been revamping their career there. So it could help.
Exactly.
Speaking of TNA stars and knockoff stars, a lot of them get sent to this place, NXT. So my thing is, what you think about John Cena saying that he really wants he would really like to go to NXT to fight a lot of those wrestlers down there. They've really been impressing him. And if he were to go there, who would be a match that you want to see?
Absolutely nobody.
Oh, bull.
It's not that I don't want to see the match, but they're going to want John Cena to win.
I think that it's okay depending on who he beat.
Nah.
Well, like, for example, me personally, I would love to see him go down there and fight Velveteen Dream. I would actually, if it was Velveteen Dream versus John Cena at a pay-per-view at NXT, I would actually pay money to see that. And the thing about that is, Velveteen Dream looks really strong in defeat, usually. So, him losing to John Cena, I think that he wouldn't bury him. I feel like
the only thing that I'd want to see out of John Cena down in NXT concerning Velveteen Dream would merely be John Cena reacting to Velveteen Dream. That's about it. I feel like John Cena is still at that state where, by default, John Cena being John Cena, he's going to bury people. If anything...
Who has he buried recently, outside of Roman Reigns?
I mean, he hasn't been around recently, so I mean...
I'm just saying within the last year. That's recent enough.
He tried to bury AJ Styles when he feuded with AJ Styles.
By losing to him and giving him the belt?
No. There's more than just losing, because he also lost to Roman Reigns. Nonetheless, you just said it yourself. He attempted to bury Roman Reigns
on a mic. That was different with AJ Styles.
No, he did the same thing to AJ Styles. He did the same, and it was one of those things where John Cena likes to point out, and we've had these conversations before, where John Cena's like, "Oh, you're saying the same thing the last guy just said," and it's like, yeah, technically, yes, but with Roman Reigns, everyone's saying the exact same thing to Roman Reigns. You know, you've had all of these opportunities, and despite the fact that you're saying that you're not Vince's boy. We all know that you're Vince's. But do you see Roman Reigns sitting up there saying, "You're saying the same thing that the last guy said"?
This is what I say to you, Steven. Not only did John Cena not bury AJ Styles, he put AJ Styles over big. Those wins over John Cena put him in the stratosphere as a main eventer. He was put in a much better position after he beat John Cena all those times. Those were classic matches.
You mean last year when John Cena took the belt from AJ Styles at the Royal Rumble?
He took the belt from AJ Styles at the Royal Rumble. Yeah. That happened last year? You sure that wasn't 2016?
No, I believe that was last year.
I looked that up on your computer.
Remember, it was AJ Styles was champion. Then John Cena won at the Royal Rumble. At Elimination Chamber, Bray Wyatt became champion. And things went on from there.
And then this year, John Cena attempted to get his title back against AJ Styles at the Royal Rumble and lost. Isn't that what happened?
This year, I believe so.
Okay, so...
But it was making up for last year.
John Cena never buried him. John Cena never buried him.
I didn't say buried him. I said tried to. And this is on the microphone. Not in the ring.
Well, the goal on the microphone is supposed to be to make your opponent look stupid, unless Vince McMahon says not to do that. Okay,
to make
that's the point of a promo, Steven.
You still want to get that person over.
Who did The Rock get over on the mic?
Mick Foley.
When they was tag team partners, yeah.
But you don't want to make your opponent look too bad. You don't want to make him look too weak. You want to build interest in your match. That's about it. You don't want the fans to lose the respect of that person.
That wasn't going to happen. Everybody knew that wasn't going to happen. There's no way that they were going to lose respect for AJ Styles because of what John Cena said. He knows that. Everybody behind the scenes know that, and you know that, Steven.
On any given Sunday, things can go wrong.
Absolutely.
For some reason, Just like back in the day at the Royal Rumble when Roman Reigns won, where they had that weak elimination of Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan told him like, yeah, that's not going to work. But somebody in the back was like, oh yeah, the fans aren't going to care if we eliminate Daniel Bryan randomly. So any given day, things go
very stupid.
But you know what? Let's keep moving on. Who would you like? Well, you said you'd like to see him fight Velveteen Dream. You know who I would like to see him interact with?
Okay, who's that?
Tommaso Ciampa, the only true heel in WWE. Period.
Yeah, he's pretty good. I hope they don't change his character because we need a person like that. I would disagree. I would think Elias is a pretty good heel, but yeah.
Elias is a decent heel, but Elias still gets cheered.
Yeah.
Nobody when Tommaso Ciampa comes out in NXT, he comes out to F you Ciampa.
Yeah.
That's how much he's hated.
That's good. And into modern wrestling, that's really impressive because I was actually talking to my buddy at work. I was saying like they're so bad at booking baby faces in this era of wrestling that like the heels back in the day would actually be beloved if they were on a roster right now. Like, for example, Rick Rude and Ted DiBiase, if they did that stuff that they did back then right now, the crowd would love that. Like, Rick Rude, definitely Ted DiBiase, he kicked the ball from the little boy. That's so edgy for right now. People, so it's like, man, they got to do a better job on both spectrums of making heels be heels, but also booking baby faces in a position where they have relatability. Not trying to overdo it. And it's hard. I know it's very hard.
Well, it's hard because more people seem to relate to the heel and the heel tactics.
Yeah, well.
Everybody loves a beatdown. I mean, everybody.
Yeah, well, it's just certain people that just have a natural likability to them. Like, for example, Braun Strowman. I think he just has a natural likability to him.
Nah, with Braun Strowman, it started off with all of the beatdowns he put down on
it did.
Roman
it started.
Reigns.
Well, like I said, I'm probably biased because I like Braun Strowman before anybody else knew that he was good. I always thought it was something with him. But we talking about mishandled baby faces. So I feel like that's a perfect segue into this guy. Shinsuke Nakamura.
He's not a babyface anymore.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But that's what I mean. He was mishandled as a babyface. They turned him heel.
I don't think it was that he was mishandled. I think his two feuds that he had were with three, actually. His first three feuds on the main roster.
Randy Orton, Jinder Mahal, and I know he had a feud with AJ Styles. Dolph Ziggler. No one remembers that. I don't even remember that.
It was short. I mean, it was an unmotivated Dolph Ziggler. It was one that was probably on his way out the door. But none of his feuds were that great.
Yeah.
And then they turned him heel, which seemed to breathe new life into him. But you know what? The biggest screw-up happened with him, and that was this past Sunday at Money in the Bank, where he lost. He failed to capture the WWE title. So my question for you is, do you think he'll ever be able to be WWE champion now?
I feel like sometimes when you don't pull the trigger on somebody, things could just go awry and they just start seeing him as a loser. Like, for example, I think Dolph Ziggler it was a point where Dolph Ziggler could have been one of the top babyfaces in the company. They didn't pull the trigger. They kept putting him back down, and people just kept seeing him in that spot and then stopped believing that he would ever move up in the card. I'm not saying that's what Shinsuke Nakamura is right now, but I will say that I know you're real disappointed that he lost. I'm really happy that he lost. I think AJ Styles
I'm disappointed. It's not even so much that he lost. It was the reason why he lost.
Well, this feud has not been the best. This is probably his best feud that he's had since he's been on the main roster. And it's really been underwhelming to what it should have been. So,
but you know why he lost?
Why?
Because the day after Money in the Bank, AJ Styles was being announced as the cover athlete for WWE 2K19.
That probably helped. You don't want the person to lose before they get announced.
So I mean, that was a bad way to bad reason for him not to get the belt. Because I feel like now he's a long way off forever actually being champion.
Well, I'll put it to you like this: on that roster on SmackDown, it's at least 4 to 5 people who I think I would have rather have win that belt besides him. Like, definitely The Miz. I wouldn't want him to win the belt over The Miz. Or Samoa Joe. Or Daniel Bryan. I definitely wouldn't want him to beat it over AJ Styles. And, who's the upper mid-carders on that roster?
Oh, see, the two of the people that you mentioned, which is The Miz and Daniel Bryan, I feel like this was the time because I feel when it comes time for The Miz and Daniel Bryan to get it, the way that it seems like they're either waiting for them to fight at Survivor Series, or they may even try to stretch this out until WrestleMania. Who knows? But I feel like when those two fight, it's gonna be for the WWE title. So right now, it was almost now or never. Because more than likely now, since AJ Styles is going to be on the cover, I actually see them now running with AJ Styles keeping the belt until the game comes out.
I've really been enjoying his title reign. I feel like he really does feel like the guy on SmackDown, the face of SmackDown. I feel like he's a top champion. The people aren't soured on him.
Well, he's the most consistently booked person.
Yeah, but he's also the most consistent in the ring. I wouldn't say he's the Rock on the mic, but he's pretty solid on the mic. People relate to him. They like him. And I don't know. I wouldn't mind it. You know, there's certain title reigns that I would want to end or feel like it's boring. I feel like his is good. And Shinsuke Nakamura has not done anything to make me feel like, oh, yeah, he deserves the belt.
So, you know what? Let's get to our last topic. Which is the multi-man match for the number one contender for the Universal title. You know, we got Roman Reigns in there. We got Bobby Lashley. They actually haven't said how many competitors are actually going to be in the match. And I feel like they might be doing that multi-man match to get more people on the pay-per-view since the, Raw and SmackDown pay-per-views are now combined. But who else would you like to see in the match? And I'm only going to give you pick three, and then we'll just say this multi-man match is going to be 5 people.
Okay, so pick 3. So we know it's going to be Bobby Lashley and Roman Reigns, which I think is good. Definitely Seth Rollins. I feel like the fact that he lost the IC belt really makes me feel like, man, they really might try to give him that win. So that's pretty cool. Definitely Elias. I feel like he's by far the best heel in that roster on Raw. So I think that he's definitely gets the best reaction. So definitely Elias. And I would love to see a returning Dean Ambrose, but he would have to lose. So I don't want him to lose in his first match back.
Well, he's still hurt. And I think he just started popping up at the Performance Center, still rehabbing his injury.
Okay, so he's nowhere near.
He's still out for a couple more months.
Yeah, I feel like he's been gone for like 3 years. That's why I feel like he should be popping up.
And of course, Sami Zayn also just had surgery, so he's out for the rest of the year.
If he was 100% healthy, I still wouldn't have put him in the match. But it's too bad he's hurt. If I would have to pick the last man, I had him in my mind, Kevin Owens. So that would be my top 5. Definitely not Jinder Mahal. I know you probably put Jinder in there. I wouldn't.
You know what? I'm not so far away from you. However, I'm thinking Seth Rollins, and I think that's why they abruptly took the IC title off of him. And but yeah, Seth. I see them adding Drew McIntyre because I figure since they put the IC title on Dolph Ziggler, they'll probably be a tag team but separate, and they'll kind of be together but also doing their own thing. And then for that last spot, that fifth spot, that third spot that we're picking, or should I say the fifth spot, Constable Corbin. And I say that because on Monday, out of the blue, he's in a tag team match with it's him and Kevin Owens versus Braun Strowman and Finn Balor, and he picks up the win randomly. He hasn't been in a match in a while. So for them to put him in that match, and he's the one that actually gets the pinfall, I gotta go with him.
Okay, well, you know what? Constable Corbin, well, I call him Corporate Corbin. I like the fact that he changed his gimmick. I just have to see where it's going.
Cut that hair because he going bald.
Yeah, some people out there can feel your pain. I don't know. Like I said, he hasn't shown me anything since he's been on the main roster. Just shows that he deserves to be in the ring with the people we just named. Like, as far as what a person has done since they've been on the main roster, he's way on the totem pole. So I just feel like maybe he should do a little bit more to establish himself, to say that he deserves to be there. But I wouldn't be pissed off if they put him there. But I think Kevin Owens is definitely is a lot more proven. and established to show that he deserves to be in that match more than corporate Corbin.
Well, maybe we'll get lucky, and instead of doing, they've done a lot of 5-man things and 6-man things. Maybe they'll go really, really far outside the box and do an 8-man match. Just to, kind of shake things up, something you haven't seen, especially with the combined pay-per-views now.
Yeah.
They don't have a whole bunch of space. But hey, and that way, you'll get something to do with Finn Balor, and you might get Kevin Owens in there. You can get some more people in there.
But I wouldn't mind a Finn Balor versus Jinder Mahal feud just to give him something to do. So.
But hey, that's all the time we got for today. Thank you for joining us for another edition of VGR Lockdown. Make sure you like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, check out some more of our videos up on YouTube, and I'll catch